Hi, and welcome back to the Enigmatic universe. I'm Clifton3D, and today we're going to talk about terrifying places. Have there ever been places that you've been terrified to go to? Maybe, just maybe, some of those places are also on this list. So let's go ahead and check it out. All right, so this is the website Mirror. I found this article on Coast to Coast, so I'm hoping it's all right. I don't know it. I haven't read it yet, so let's go ahead and get into it. Most terrifying places on Earth, including gates of hell and abandoned hospital. Hospitals can be pretty damn terrifying, even if they're not abandoned. Was that maybe on your list? Sure was on mine. However, let's get into this article. Maybe some of the places you were thinking about are on this list, but definitely do let me know down in the comments below. Anyway, the Mirror has put together a perfect travel guide for the fearless. But be warned, some destinations in our frightening 5 may leave you wishing you'd stay at home. This article is by Sam Elliott Gibbs. I don't know this person, but credit where credit is due. Searching for something a little different to do this weekend? Then look no further. There are some chilling places to visit around the world if you fancy jumping on a plane, and many are very likely to give you nightmares, from the so-called gates of hell to an island which locals say chimes with the screams of 160,000 dead plague victims. There's something for everyone. If you don't fancy that, a creepy abandoned hospital that once treated Adolf Hitler could be a must-see. Or how about an island stacked full of freakish, mutilated dolls? If you're feeling a little ghoulish or are partial to some tombs and graves, there's plenty to pick from. Or if you prefer to stay at home, after all, the Mirror has prepared the perfect travel guide, so you don't have to move a muscle. The gates of hell. Now, seeing this, a hole with fire burning out, seems kind of freaking scary to me. The Darvasa sinkhole in Turkmenistan, Central Asia, has been burning since 1971, when it's thought Soviets ignited it. But get your visit in soon. The fiery crater, which has been belching out methane for more than 50 years, may soon finally be closed, as its country's leader ordered it to be extinguished. It's said the gas emitted from the landmark is causing untold damage to locals' health and the environment. Dubbed the Gates of Hell or the Mouth of Hell, the blazing pit can be seen from miles around and has become a major tourist attraction in recent years. But those who like a terrifying trip should get their skates on. I don't even think I should try to pronounce that one. Gurbanguly Berdimuhamedo. Gurbanguly Berdimuhamedo. I can't. What? Gurbanguly Berdimuhamedo has made orders for his government to hunt down experts to close the sinkhole, located in the Karakum Desert around 160 miles north of the country's capital, Ashgabat. The 230 feet wide and 70 feet deep sinkhole is wreaking havoc on public health with its ceaseless methane emissions, according to the leader. Berdimuhamedov has previously tried unsuccessfully to close it back in 2010. In 2013, he declared the surrounding area a natural reserve, which has since become a tourist trap. The Catacombs of Paris. Let's hope I have an easier time pronouncing things in this one. Likely not. Located just 20 meters underground, this ossuary contains the remains of several million Parisians. The site was created in the late 18th century when Paris faced problems linked to the cemeteries, so authorities chose to transfer the bodies to the new underground site, including the Saints Innocent Cemetery. Tombs and graves were emptied of their bones and transported in the dead of night to avoid hostile reactions from the Parisian population and the church. The site was consecrated in 1786 and opened to the public by appointment in 1809. Now everyone's welcome if you dare. And there are around 550,000 tourists who visit per year. And the ossuary bones, which had been loosely piled, are organized in walls. The facade consists of rows of trabea alternating with skulls. The Island of Death. Morbid terrorists flocked to a tiny island of death, which became a dumping ground for the diseased during the bubonic plague. More than 16,000 Italian people were said to have died there. But instead of being a place of respect and reflection, the walls of the ancient buildings are stained with graffiti. Located less than half a mile from the channels of Venice, Poveglia Island once served as a quarantine zone for victims and was also the site of an early 20th century asylum that was rumored to carry out horrific medical experiments. Locals claim to this day that they can hear echoing chimes from the island, despite the bell having been removed years ago. It is illegal to visit this island, but you can see it from the beaches of nearby Lido. In the 1300s, the brutal Black Death wiped out an estimated 60% of Europe's population. Venice is home to several islands with horrifying reputations similar to Plague Island. Lazaretto Novara is another haunting island where the mystical vampire Venus was rumored to operate. Beelitz-Heilstätten Hospital. The halls of the former Beelitz-Heilstätten Hospital are not for the faint-hearted. After all, the abandoned building is where Adolf Hitler was treated after being wounded at the Somme. The hospital, made up of 60 buildings, was built in 1898. As a sanctorum, but it was transformed into a military hospital at the beginning of World War I for the Imperial German Army. Now left to nature, the area is a common haunt for photographers and thrill seekers. Although some sections of the hospital still host a neurological rehabilitation center and Parkinson's disease research center, the surgery, psychiatric ward, and rifle range have stood abandoned since 1994. That's not stopped people paying a visit. The Island of the Dolls. I hate dolls. Dubbed the Island of Nightmares, this creepy Mexican spot is steeped in spooky myths and legends surrounding the mutated dolls that fill the island. They're nestled everywhere amidst the buildings, the trees, and channels. It looks like something out of a horror film. Some claim they hear the dolls whispering to each other, while others on boats near the island said the dolls lured them closer. In the woods of Ixomilico, sorry if I mispronounced that, miles away from civilization, hundreds of tourists and thrill seekers arrive every year. Known locally as the Cinema Pass, the area was declared a UNESCO World Heritage Site in 1987. According to the island's website, the dolls are threatening even in the bright light of midday, but in the dark, they are particularly disturbing. All right, so this is the article's list of terrifying places Were these places among your thoughts? Or what did you come up with? Definitely do let me know down in the comments section what you believed were terrifying places. Maybe there was even a place where you were terrified of when you were a kid that nowadays, you know, is just normal to you. Anyway, I hope you liked this video. If you did, smash that like button, consider subscribing and hitting the bell for notifications. All right, until next time, travelers, take care.